I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to heal from this. But if I do, I'm taking everybody with me. So I studied betrayal, really just to help me heal, to be there for my clients. And that study led to 3 discoveries, which changed my health, my family, my work, my life.
Welcome, everybody, to Confessions of a Binge Eater. I'm thrilled that you found us. This is where we gather to talk about a difficult subject, binge eating, and our troubled relationship with food that doesn't need to remain troubled. Yes, there is hope. There is non-dieting, non-medication, non-deprivation hope and help for binge eaters. And we dig into that and what it takes here on the show. So welcome. So happy you're here. You're going to love my guest. Oh my God. This is a fast moving show today with somebody who has been through it, betrayal, and lots of life stuff that she just keeps moving through with so much poise and grace. Dr. Debi Silber is the founder and CEO of the PBT, which stands for Post Betrayal Transformation Institute, and National Forgiveness Day. She's an award-winning speaker and two-time #1 international best-selling author. So actually that's about to become a 3-time because we talk about her new book. Dr. Debi has been featured on all different kinds of news programs. She is the creator of the world's #1 betrayal recovery certification program. So we're going to get into it. And if you've had any struggles with betrayal whatsoever, you're going to relate, but more importantly, you're going to feel the hope. Let's dig in. Dr. Debi Silber, welcome back to the show, except now it's Confessions of a Binge Eater. So welcome.
Yeah, it's so excited for our conversation, my friend.
Yeah, I adore you. And I love your passion for helping people heal from betrayal. And, you're just such a light in the world. And everybody listening, you're going to feel good, even if you don't relate to this topic, which you probably wouldn't have clicked if you didn't. But anyway, Debi, tell us kind of, because you used to be in the fitness and nutrition and weight loss space, and you transitioned to where you are now. What brought that about?
Oh, you don't think I just like the topic betrayal? And I was like, oh, let me study this. No, you study betrayal because you have to. So you're right. Health, mindset, personal development. And then I had a really painful betrayal from my family. I thought I did everything I needed to do to heal from that. And then it happened again a few years later. This time it was my husband. So anybody who's been through that, you're heartbroken. You're like, what? So that was the deal breaker. Got him out of the house. Looked at the 2 experiences thinking, what's similar here besides me? And I realized I never took my own needs seriously. It was always about everybody else. And I'm one of those people that believes, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So
Yeah.
there wasn't a book, there wasn't a course, there wasn't a mentor. Like I couldn't find anything. That's what I'd always go to help me heal. So this was so big that I had to study it so big, like I had 4 kids, 6 dogs, a business. Like I needed to get it together.
Yeah.
So it sounded crazy to me too, but I enrolled in a PhD program. I mean, I couldn't even
No
function.
half measures for you.
and I just said, if I remember the moment, I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to heal from this. But if I do, I'm taking everybody with me. It was
Yeah.
just a knowing. And then it was time to do a study. So I studied betrayal, really just to help me heal, to be there for my clients. And that study led to 3 discoveries, which changed my health, my family, my work, my life.
Wow, that's amazing. And you go all in with everything you do. I just love that. You're such a passionate person. And what I also know about you is you were like, okay, I got to get to the bottom of this. How do I heal? You probably spent seconds in victim mode and then it was action mode. How do I move beyond this? How do I heal my heart? How do I heal my family? And so that's what I know about you, and what you developed as your way of helping people is really a way of healing and not being stuck in victim mode.
No, I think one of the gifts I've given myself, and I've been doing this for decades, I've kind of trained myself to be able to, and everybody can do this. I have trained myself to be able to imagine two feelings. The feeling of I tried it and it didn't work. Okay, we know what that feels like. Compared to the feeling of what could have been, but I just didn't do it because I was too scared or too whatever, didn't think I had all the tools, the skills. And I've taught myself that that feeling of what could have been feels worse. So I'd rather do the thing and be like, well, that didn't work out or whatever, because I can live with that. I've trained myself that I can't even live with the other one. So
That
it's
is
almost a no-brainer.
powerful. Yeah, I love that. That's such a good life lesson, right?
Because think about it. It's like, yeah, if you try it and it doesn't work, okay, go you for trying. But if
Yes.
you're just wondering what could it be like, feel like, how can I help myself, others? If I just, and I didn't because I was too scared or
Yeah.
just didn't have the skills and tools. We stink at everything in the beginning, you
Right.
know? The only
Oh,
reason why, right? The only way we get good at it is because, okay, here we go. So if that's going to happen anyway, let me do that. But the potential of helping the people because of it and my family and myself, I don't know. It just became a no-brainer.
I love that. Good for you, Debbie. You're so positive. So, talk to us about what you developed as your means of healing, and then what you teach others, and now what you're teaching others to teach others.
Yeah. So the three discoveries, I mean, I'll just share them briefly. First of all, anybody who's been betrayed, and this could be a family member, a partner, a friend, a coworker, someone in a position of authority, yourself, right? It's different. It's different. And if you've been through other traumas, right? Like let's say you lose someone you love. You grieve, you're sad, you mourn the lost, life will never be the same. But you don't question that relationship, right? You don't question your ability to trust. You don't question your sanity.
Mm,
With betrayal, you do. So it's a very different type of trauma. And one of the reasons why people get stuck is because they treat it like other traumas. Trauma's trauma. No, it's not. I did the research. I have the proof. It's very different and it needs a different way to heal because not only was life shattered as you've known it, you were shattered too,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
all of that has to be rebuilt. When we do, we are a version of us to be reckoned with, like full on.
I
So,
love that.
yeah, so that betrayal is a different type of trauma. That was the first discovery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the second one was there's actually a collection of symptoms, physical, mental, and emotional, so common to betrayal. It's known as post betrayal syndrome. So we've had over 100,000 people take our post betrayal syndrome assessment to see to what extent they're struggling. And and I'm happy to share the stats if you want to hear them. But what's so staggering is we've all heard time heals all wounds, right? I have the
Yeah.
proof that when it comes to betrayal, that's not true. There's
Okay.
a question on the quiz that says, is there anything else you'd like to share? And people write things like, my betrayal happened 35 years ago. I will never trust again. My
Mm,
betrayal happened 15 years ago, feels like it happened yesterday. So we know we cannot count on time. We can't count on a new relationship to heal it either. Healing needs to be deliberate and intentional. And for your listeners, one of the things that happens is 47% of this is with 100,000 plus people, 47% of every single person betrayed has an eating and weight issue.
oh, wow.
So in the beginning, they can't hold food down. Later on, they're using food for comfort. No one in the universe does that better than you to help people through it. But
Yep.
that's a stat that we see consistently because the pain is so great. We don't know how to escape the pain. So
Yeah.
it's just one of our go-to places for
Yeah, and I
super
would
trauma.
say, especially because the betrayal is usually, I'm sure you have a statistic on how often it's somebody close to you,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when it's somebody close to you, you really can't escape it because it's
Mhm.
like it's in your house or it's in
Yeah.
your family life or, the gatherings, the holidays. It's like, it's everywhere. It's hard to get away from it. And food just enables you to check out momentarily so you're not feeling it.
Exactly. And that's why betrayal is such a unique type of trauma too, because this is the person you'd run to when other people are causing harm.
Yeah.
That's the person who's causing the harm, right?
Yeah.
This was the one that your ride or die. You've given this person 100% trust. They gave you a sense of safety and security. So when that's the person who takes it away, it's like, I don't even, it's like they took a mask off. You're like, what? Who? It
Yep.
completely shatters everything. The good news is you can heal from all of it. That was the third discovery.
I love it. I love it so much. Talk to us about what that healing path looks like.
Yeah. So this was the most exciting of the discoveries. And what we learned was while we can stay stuck for years, decades, a lifetime, and most people do stay stuck, if we're going to fully heal, and by fully heal, I mean symptoms of post-betrayal syndrome, to this completely rebuilt place called post-betrayal transformation, PBT, we will move through 5 proven predictable stages. And what's even more exciting about that is we know what happens physically, mentally, and emotionally at every stage. And we know what we need to do to move from one stage to the next. Healing is entirely predictable.
That is a good sign, right?
Oh,
Because if
yeah.
it's predictable, then everybody can access it and use it.
Yeah. And most people get stuck in stage 3. And I'm happy to share the stages if you want to hear it, but just, stage 3, that's the one where we do the emotional eating. That's the one where we numb, avoid, and distract ourselves. That's the one where we're just spending time, effort, energy going to doctors and whoever to manage stress related symptoms, and we're sick, we're sad, we're stuck. That's when we have repeat experiences. That's where really nothing has changed. So we're living this life of stuckness.
Mhm.
And it's also, it feels so much better than the trauma we just came from. So we think it's good. So we build this very functional life, but it's flat. It's not filled with love. It's not filled with intimacy, because that takes courage.
Yeah,
Right?
for
So
sure. Okay, somebody's gonna be mad at me if I don't ask what the 5 stages are.
all right. So I'm going to give it to you like fire hose version.
Okay.
Stage 1, before it happens. And if you can imagine 4 legs of a table, 4 legs being physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, what I saw with everybody, me too, was a heavy lean on the physical and mental, thinking and doing, right? And neglecting and ignoring the emotional and the spiritual, feeling and being. This is autopilot. We're not scanning for betrayal. We're just going through the motions and doing life. And we only see these things in hindsight. So we turn down our intuition, stuff like that. Stage 2, shock trauma, D-Day, discovery day. By far the
Mm.
scariest of all of the stages. It's the breakdown of the body, the mind, the worldview. Right here, we've ignited the stress response. We're now headed for every single stress related symptom, illness, condition, disease. The mind, we're like, what? And the worldview shattered, right? The
Mm.
bottom has bottomed out on us, and a new bottom hasn't been formed yet. It's terrifying. But
Yeah.
if the bottom were to bottom out on you, what would you do? You grab hold of anything or anyone in order to stay safe, right? And stay alive. That's stage 3. Survival instincts emerge. This is the most practical out of all of the stages. If you can't help me, get out of my way. How do I survive this? This is the stage, though, that we get stuck because 4 things happen. The first one is we start getting all those small self benefits. We get our story. We love our story. We do.
Meaning our victim story.
We get to be right. We get someone to blame. We get sympathy from everyone we share our story with. You've heard people like their stories are so perfected, like they've said it 100 million times, right?
Yeah.
And we're not getting much else. So we think that this is good. So then we plant deeper roots. And now the mind starts doing things like, maybe you're not that great. Maybe this, maybe that. So we plant deeper roots. And now, because these are the thoughts we're thinking, this is the energy we put out. Like energy
Mm.
attracts like energy. So now we start attracting people and circumstances and new relationships to confirm, yep, this is where we belong. Here's where we join some lame support group, and we will actually sabotage our healing because we found our people.
Oh boy. And this
Oh,
can
yeah.
happen with food stuff too. Sometimes support groups for people with eating disorders are sometimes very unhealthy places to be because people get stuck.
Exactly. Because then
Yeah.
someone's like, well, this happened to me. And then someone else is like, well, you think that's bad. This happened
Yeah.
to me. And
Yeah.
then,
Topping each other's
yeah,
miserable story.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you found your people. So you're like, but I need this. Right. And so you stay stuck. Here's where you see the most well-meaning, amazing therapist. But if they're not highly skilled in betrayal, you're going to feel heard and validated and understood. And if you notice, you're not an inch closer to the next
Right.
stage. But because
Nothing's changed.
you don't know there's anywhere else to go. So you're like, I don't get why this isn't working. Right.
Yeah.
And here's also where we will sabotage our healing because we're afraid to outgrow our betrayer who has no intention of changing. Because it feels so bad, but we don't know there's anywhere else to go. Right here is where we start doing the numbing.
Yeah.
Here's where we're going to use food or drugs or alcohol or whatever. Now, we do it for a day, a week, a month. Now it's a habit, a year, 10 years, 20
That's
years.
right.
And I'm
That's
sure, and
right.
you have these incredible
Yes.
people in your community, and I can ask them, do you think this has anything to do with your betrayal? And they look at me like I'm crazy, and they said it happened 20 years ago, but all they did was put themselves in stage 3 and stayed there. You see,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So they've built this functional life, but it's flat. Anyway, if we're willingness is a big word right here, to let go of the story, grieve, mourn the loss, bunch of things we need to do, we can move to stage 4. Stage 4 is finding and adjusting to a new normal. So here's where you acknowledge, I can't undo what happened, but I control what I do with it. Just in that decision, you're taking your power back, you're turning down the stress response. And stage 4 is like if you've ever moved to a new house, office, condo, whatever. Your stuff's not there. It's not, cozy, lived in yet, but you're like, yeah, I got this. It's this sort of hopeful excitement. It feels like that. But you don't take everything with you, right? You don't take those things that don't represent who you're now ready to become in that space. And what I found was there's this one spot as people leave stage 3 and go into stage 4. If your friends weren't there for you, they're not coming along. That lame support group, you're done. That therapist who's unknowingly keeping you stuck, you're done. The betrayer who's not changing, you're done. And so it's a personal time, not necessarily lonely, but personal. Anyway, when you've settled into this space, you've made it cozy, you've made it kind of mentally home, you move into the 5th most beautiful stage. And this is healing, rebirth, and a new worldview. The body starts to heal, self-love, self-care, eating well, like all the things. We couldn't do that earlier. We didn't have the bandwidth. Now we do. The mind is healing. We have a new worldview based on everything we see so clearly now. And the 4 legs of that table, in the beginning, it was all about the physical and the mental. By this point, we're solidly grounded because we're focused on the emotional and the spiritual too. Those are the 5 stages.
I love it. Thank you for sharing all that. Yeah, it's really reminds me of a butterfly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cocoon where we need to be resting, but also we're transforming. So I love that. I just want to comment on the fact that I've known you for so long and I love witnessing your transformation. I've known you pre-marital betrayal, and since, and pre-PhD, and
Mm-hmm.
since, and I just, pre-PBT Institute, the whole thing. And I just
Yeah.
really honor you and all the energy you've put into serving people and helping people find freedom from betrayal. It's so, so important. So thank you for that.
Thank you, my sister.
And the newest iteration of your work is the certification. Talk to me about that.
I created the certification because when the 5 stages showed up, I'm like, how in the world can I keep this to myself? I mean, this is amazing. And so I was trying to work with as many people as I could to move them through the stages. And I was like, how do I really leverage this? It's with every coach and practitioner that gets certified in these 5 stages, they can help everyone within their care and reach. So instead of just doing the individual work, it was a big decision that the entire PBT Institute is now focused solely on certifying as many practitioners as we can, because betrayal there's a roadmap. It's proven, it's predictable, and the worst of it happened already. Reaching stage 5 is not just for some. It's not based on gender or luck or no. Anybody can do it. But it's helpful to have a practitioner walk you through it, because this way you look at them and you're like, they've done it, I can too. And they have the specifics on what you need at what stages. So that's what we're doing, moving as
I
many people
love
through
it.
stages. Yeah.
And you have a new book out
I
based
do.
on this.
I do. This will be book number 9. I printed out a picture of the cover because I don't
Nice.
even have it yet. but it's called Unstuck. And this is for practitioners, because I want practitioners, the most amazing coaches and counselors and therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists. They're doing such great work. But what we see consistently is their tools fall flat when they're offered at the wrong time. So when they understand the stages, their great stuff works so much better. So we just want coaches and practitioners to understand betrayal is so different. So those clients who seem stuck, they're not being resistant. They're not giving you a hard time, on purpose. They're betrayed. So they're not starting at the same starting point as someone else.
So good, Debi. I love listening to you. You're incredibly articulate of these foundational principles that you have discovered in your own research in life. And so I appreciate your bringing that to light here, and makes total sense. And I'm just so glad people are getting unstuck. Many more people, especially now in this new chapter for you and the PBT Institute. So thanks for that. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show. Really fun to have you. And anybody who is like, I think I need to get that help, and I think I need to carry it on the way you're giving the opportunity for people to do, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, thanks. Pre-launch book is available with bonuses. Once we're live, the bonuses are gone. So that's at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com/unstuck.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I love you. You're awesome. And thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next show. If you're ready to get off the dieting roller coaster ride and finally make peace with food and with your body, talk to a Heal Your Hunger mentor about what steps you need to take based on your own history with food and weight. Go to healyourhunger.com and register for an emotional eating breakthrough session and see how fast you can experience real change. It's a complimentary evaluation, but there are limited spots available. So go to healyourhunger.com and register to speak with a mentor today.